Well, the Gold Coast has just got to be the luckiest city in the country when it comes to having perfect locations for kayak fishing. Think about this for a second. There's over 400 kilometres of these constructed canals squeezed into the Gold Coast, and billions of dollars have been poured into the structures here that just provide the perfect nursery for bait fish, and they're here in abundance, and they support the huge stocks of bread and butter species that we enjoy catching. So this place is just loaded with bream. There's heaps of whiting, flathead, big trevally get around here in good numbers, and there's monster mangrove jack, estuary cod, and even Queensland groper and barra are turning up now. The place is very well accessed and provided for by the council with boat ramps and public parks for access. But in my opinion, the greatest sport fishing challenge exists as you head out of these canals and head up past the dirty water into these estuaries and the creeks and the backwaters of these systems. There's just some incredible sports fishing that takes place, and in my opinion, late afternoon on a filling tide, you just can't beat it. You've got to obsess over the fine details and pay attention to the real specifics if you want to uncover some of the magic that exists up the back of these systems, but there's just exceptional sports fishing. This next segment shows you exactly the sort of thing that I'm talking about. Have a look. Yep. Oh, come out of there, big fella. Oh, brilliant stuff. Oh, these are early mornings, close quarters, and beautiful jack. Oh, heavy cover, and it's not a small top water lure. It's early season, but that's a 130. One of my favourites, these iron mouths, and I'm working it super aggressive, but it does the trick. They just love it, these mangrove jack, trevally, giant herring if you work it a little bit softer. Just got to be a little bit careful because I shouldn't be holding the lure. I should be lip gripping this one and getting my hands out of the road of the hooks. That's what you're in for if you can make the effort early morning. How good's that? Yep. Yes. Oh, it's a good fish too. I don't think jack. I think maybe thready. Took it on the stall. Oh yes, fighting like a thready. Geez, they're quick. Oh. Oh. Testing these hooks out. I'll tell you what, it is testing the hooks out because I've got a lot of pressure on this. The drag is close as you'll get to locked. Oh. Oh. Slow up, buddy. Just give me a look at you. God, they go hard. It's a bloody bull shark. Ah, dirty old shark. I want me lure back though. Bloody bull shark. Ah, this is a bit dodgy. So dodgy. Oh, come here.
Don't want to get him in, that'd be a bad idea to get him in the boat. There's one set. Don't mind if the other set goes. That front one's the BKK. The other ones are completely gone actually. See you, buddy. Well, you won't get one to test the hooks as much as that. You can see that back one's gone. And these BKKs, they haven't even been touched. I'll just check. Yeah, they're still as catchy as ever. Unbelievable.
Water temperature's increased since we've been here. Yes! Oh! Oh, it's a big fish, bro. Oh, it's a big fish. This is a good fish, eh? I think Big Trev just got belted in mid-water. Man, I've got the drag fully loaded. This thing just screaming, eh? Oh. Just belting the crap out of me. It doesn't feel like Jack. Yeah, nice big Trev. Oh. Fully just inhaled my diving lure. I'll get the net through it. Well, we've been watching bait getting chased around the cover all morning, and I was hoping it was Jack, but we haven't managed to turn up any Jack. It's big Trevs. Any time from sort of late September, early October, if you get into these systems, you'll see the herring, the mullet getting bust up, and it's these big Trevs. Especially mid-water, you see the bust ups. Oh, take a look at this beast. Grunting, eh? He's saying, let me get back in there and keep belting herring. Take a look at this fella. Boom. They go like crazy once they're hooked. They don't have that same iconic stigma attached to them like Mangrove Jack, but when you hook one, you know about it. God, they go hard. They're so fast. They're built for speed, and they're aggressive as soon as the water starts to change temperature and heat up. I just said to Murray that the temperature of the water's come on in the last hour or so with the fresh run of salt coming straight up the creek. Just turns these things on. Beautiful big Trev. All the systems have got them. The back of Currumbin and Talabudra is fantastic for them early summer. And Narang, the lakes around the Gold Coast, just fire up and they get a lot bigger than this one even. This one's probably around that high 50 mark. But they test your gear out and they're a whole lot of fun. They're not much to eat, so I just throw them back. But they're great sport. BKK held pretty strong under a load of pressure, that treble. I'll show you the lure that caught it. So I'll get him back in. Just spear him back in. See you, buddy. Often they'll come in packs and just smash stuff. You'll even see them, like, they'll miss the lure a lot, whereas Jacks will hit it and get it first time. Often they won't even touch it, but they'll keep swiping until they get it. That's a Tiemco Sumari. It's a 90mm deep diver, and it's one of my favourites for fishing these creeks. The shine on it, especially in the gold, just pulls fish in, and at rest, if you can get it suspending with a heavier front treble, it just works a treat. Let's Keep smashing them. Yep. Oh, grab me straight away off that little pressure point there. Oh, it's a nice big floody too.
Floody?
Yeah, big floody. Oh. Just grab my 100mm diver. He's a beautiful big fish. Probably around that 600, eh? Yeah. Just casting the shadow lines, like that little section through there is where the bait's just running. Yep, there it is. Yeah, it just belted me. It's a bass, eh? Up the back of these systems where you get to brackish water, flicking around some of this heavier cover, you're a chance for a bass. So the variety of fish in these systems is just immense, and it makes for such great sport fishing fun because you don't know what you're going to hook. Let me show you this fella. I'll get him up there and give you a look at him. Beautiful. He's probably close to 40, I'd say just maybe under 40, but he belted that lure as good as any sports fish would, and they always give a good account of themselves, these things. I'll just get him back in. I don't like to hang him for too long from the lure, but Australian bass, you can find them up the back, especially coming into summer. Tallabudgera Creek and Currumbin Creek, the back of the Coomera at times. Narang's great for them. You can head right up into the back of the Narang, and of course right throughout Rabina Lakes. But I love chasing them in natural systems, wild bass on lures. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and they're still firing. Even these great big flathead are a welcome bycatch up the back of these systems in the natural structure. This one was taken off a log. He was actually sitting in the shadow underneath it, and he's well over the 600. Some great fish up here. So important to release these bigger ones. There you go, big girl. Yes! Oh, it's a good fish! Oh my God, look at it! Oh, get back here, big fella. He just scared like a foot-long mullet. Oh, geez, I hope you're red. I don't think it is though. The way it's moving, I think it's a big Trev. Come here. Oh. Be red, be red, be red. Oh no, I can see a huge silver side. Oh. God, they felt ya. Look at the size of this thing. And there was a big foot-long mullet that got scared too as he came up and belted my lure. It almost looked like a surface hit, but it was another bit of bait trying to get out the road. You can see all the muck that I'm fishing in, and it's a great tip if you're fishing the run-in tide, is to sort of follow the dirty stuff. It's a beautiful big Trev. He's up at the 600 for sure. Look at the size of this brute, would ya? It's worth using the lures that really get the job done, and that's why I've stuck with this thing. Trevally in these creeks, they're so much fun. Yes! Oh! Yeah, it's a good fish. Oh, and I know exactly what it is too. It's a big one. Taken on the stall. Oh, there's that red colour that you wait for all season. Oh, he's a big one. Oh, you beauty. They go so hard, these things. I feel like I just about need a bloody seatbelt to keep me on, because the way they rip is just insane. Oh, he is a corker. He's only lightly pinned, so if he drops, I'll be shattered. But this is what it's all about. Come up the back of these creeks, Currumbin, Talabudger and Narang. Oh, and there's these beastie jacks just waiting to grab these lures. This is taken on a diving lure, one of my favourites, the Tiemco Samari. You got to have a look at this thing. Now, get out of here, big fella. Get a load of the size of this fruit. Oh, hang on, mate. Look at that beast, would ya? He's well up into the 50. Now, this is what it's about. These great big fish are all up and down our systems on the Goldie, and the sport fishing experience is so intense. The variety of fish in these creeks is amazing, and God, if you haven't seen my other DVDs that showcase these fish, the jacks especially, then you know you've got to have a look at those, because just as a fish, regardless of whether you're in a kayak or not, I mean, getting one in a boat is a real achievement. Out of a kayak is just stupidity. The fight is just incredible. So, you know, there's some things that might be seen as a disadvantage going in a kayak, but I'll tell you what, some of the ways that you can go after these things, if you're smart with a kayak, it really puts you out an advantage. This fella was taken from underneath that tree, and it's so easy to get in there with an elevated seat and skip your lures in there. I'm going to chuck him back. See you, buddy. With an elevated seat in a kayak, you can throw in and around all of this cover, and with the stealth to be able to creep right in there. You can do it with plastics the same way as I did in Monster Jacks around the pontoons, but a couple of things that'll give you an advantage. If you go throwing in and you position yourself with the kayak in behind and skip casts in behind these pontoons, you're putting yourself at a huge advantage compared to boat fishermen. The nimbleness and the agility of one of these little things is fantastic to be able to get in behind, and the buy-in for a jack is a lot less, so you can get those fish that don't get hit, and they're a lot more confident to come and grab your plastic. It can be frustrating, the same as it is in a boat at times, and you've got to be really repetitious, but the experience is just so intense. I don't think there's anything better than targeting these jacks. It's a huge sports fishing challenge if you get yourself there after working in Bream and bass and Trevally and that, but the payoff is just amazing. I won't forget that fish. This is what kayak fishing is all about. Looking for a bit of adventure, coming up these systems and finding your quiet little spots, and getting onto some awesome sport fish. The Gold Coast is full of these fish, and Trevally are fantastic fighters as well. You'll even get Bream and Flathead up through here, and even bass. You've just got to get out and give it a crack. Something under it now. Just trying to get it pull on the hooks. It's still there. Come on, there it is. I think maybe giant herring. Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. Come on. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, this is the sort of fish you can get. It's not a G8. Beautiful big crab. Oh, just about to snap him off on my keel. Well, the conditions are just perfect for this.
because we've had such a stupid hot afternoon, and we've got a rising tide into one of these lakes up the back of these creeks. This is in Currumbin, and the bait has been pouring in, and it's just a matter of time. If you wait your time out, you can use surface lures late afternoon and into the night and get onto some beautiful fish. These are great fighting fish, these Trevs. There you go, that's on an ironmouth by Imagatsu, and great sport fish. But you'll get giant herring, you'll get tarpon, even mangrove jack, all having a go late afternoon. So don't pack up early, wait for the low light when the bats are overhead, and the incoming full moon is just perfect. So October, the full moon in the middle of October, and then again this is November, perfect time for big Trevs, mangrove jack, giant herring in the lakes and the ponds right up the back of these systems.